I'm having the upstairs shower done and retile because the last time I really tried to clean it up, the walls were moving out. And so we had to go down to the cement board.
You'll let me.
Oh, good. A piece.
All
Or should I
right.
do that?
Ready. Ready.
Okay,
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right, okay,
Sounds good.
apologies for the delay. I believe we're having technical issues. All right, today is Monday, November the 18th, 2024. It is 6:07, it looks like, 6:05. We are here for the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is roll call and determination of quorum.
Commissioner Miller? Commissioner Gallegos?
Present.
Commissioner Alba? Commissioner Walkinshaw? Commissioner Mulvihill?
Present.
And Madam Chair Lucero.
Present.
Madam Chair, you have quorum.
Thank you. All right, our next item is changes in approval of the agenda. Mr. Salazar, any changes? Commissioners, any changes?
No, Madam Chair, none changes here.
I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gallego, second by Commissioner Miller. Call for the vote, please, Mr. Salazar.
Commissioner Alba? Commissioner Gallegos?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Mulvihill?
Yes.
Madam Chair Lucero.
Yes.
Madam Chair, the votes 5-0. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. Our next item is public input. The public is invited to address the commission regarding items listed on the agenda as allowed by the chair. You can also email your comments to clerktreasurer@mcia.nm.gov at least 72 hours prior to the meeting. Public input, please. And this pertains to the cases.
Yes, my name is Les Williamson, and this is in comment for D in the agenda as far as the lot line adjustment of the property. And just a quick comment about my Greek immigrant grandfather. This would be the last piece I'm concerning the town with as far as the nature of the property, as for taking care of family members with inheritance. And Mr. Brian Reeves, who is the property owner now at the end of the field that my grandfather had farmed starting in the early 20s. And his intention to do the farming on that property, which is not in my ability to use. It is delightful to have him on the end of the field, which I used to have a fowl or chili or livestock. I just wanted to basically give a plug for my grandpa Pappas, who had farmed that as he did, and now my family is taking advantage in a beneficial way, I believe, for the town. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Trina Witter, and I brought this up several times before, and I'll bring it up again. The minutes on the town webpage for P&Z have not been updated. The last minutes that are posted on there are September 30th. So there's a lot of minutes being approved here. The whole month of October is not on there. Yes, you can go to the town and get it, but that's putting the burden on people, and they're already always posted for the Board of Trustees. I don't think it's right that, every week that residents would have to ask for, a public records input. So if that website would be updated, that would be great. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brian Reeves, and I own the property that Les has sold me a couple years ago, and we're on for 6D, item 6D we'll be discussing. And I just want to introduce myself and let the commission know that my intentions for that property. The primary intention for me is to grow a heritage blue corn that my children's great-grandfather from Jarales gave me 30 years ago. And I've been growing it, and I've never grown it to scale. And so this allows me the space to grow the corn And from it, I dry it and make a tole. And so far I've been giving it out, but I might sell it, but I like giving it away. And he asked me to keep that alive for him, and I've done that. So that's the primary intention for that land. Secondary intention is I'd like to live on it. And you've probably seen I have a little storage shed. I have my tools in, Heidi. But I'd like to build in time a small shop and then maybe 4 or 5 years a little bit larger home to live in. And those will be adobe homes. And right now I'm leaning towards a territorial style. I've built those before in New Mexico. But I'm taking my time for one reason. It's to get to know Mesilla and form relationships and meet my friends and neighbors and just see, go very slowly, see what's appropriate and ask for advice rather than just come in and say, this is what I want to do. So if you've seen me out there, I'm just right now enriching the soil and planting plants and having fun out there. So thank you. I just wanted to introduce myself.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, since I see none and none, we'll move on. Next item is approval of the consent agenda. The consent agenda, you'll see an asterisk. The first one is the set meeting for the winery hearing minutes on 11/4, the regular meeting minutes of 11/4, and SGR work session for 11/6, and special meeting minutes for 11/16, 2024. I accept a motion to approve.
So motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Mulvihill, and second by Commissioner Gallegos. Call for the vote, please, Mr. Gallegos.
Madam Chair Lucero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mulvihill,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Alba. Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. Our next item is 6, action and consideration. Our first case is 061914 at 2260 Calle de Santiago. Mr. Salazar, please.
Yeah, 2260 Calle de Santiago was submitted by Bill and Janice, excuse me, Cook. They are requesting approval to build a wire fence dog run with gate approximately 40 inches tall and 50 feet long. The zone is historical commercial. Mr. and Mrs. Cook will be installing the kennel themselves. Purpose of the kennel is to allow an inside dog an opportunity to enjoy being outside. Kennel will be located on the west side of the building. You can see the site plan. There's a picture of where that would be at. It is in blue ink. It's more of a fence across the side yard there with the gate, as you can see that. On the next page, you can see the style of fencing on there that is being proposed to be installed along with the gate. There is a picture of the gate also as well. It was reviewed by department heads. I'd like to comment on the department, Mesilla Town Code 1835.060I, Section 5, HR zones allows ornamental wire loop fencing, and that is specifically how it is written in our code. And when I did the Google search, what is specifically a ornamental wire loop fencing, and that is the picture that came out. So again, that is it is allowed in the HR zone. Again, it's a historic residential. This is a commercial zone, but there is no regulations in that specific zone for in that specific commercial zone for other than just the materials it can be made out of, such as masonry, stuccoed masonry, steel, ornamental tubing, etc. The application was submitted, as you can see, the site plan, a sample of the fence, and proof of ownership. And I stand by for any questions.
Thank you. Okay, I'll accept a motion then to approve case 061914. So moved.
Second.
A approved by Commissioner Miller, second by Commissioner Gallegos. Is there any discussion, Commissioners? No. Since I hear none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Mulvihill,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes?
Commissioner Gallegos, Madam Chair Lucero,
Yes.
and Commissioner Alba.
Yes.
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on, case 061916 at 2286 Snow Road.
Okay, the next one is a solar panel install. It is at 2886 Snow Road, was submitted by Jesus Caro. He is requesting approval to install solar panels on his primary residence. Mr. Caro has contracted Our World Energy to install solar panels. There will be approximately 21 panels on the roof for a total of 6.09 kWs. Elevation submitted along with elevation submitted. Proof solar panels will be hidden behind the parapets. Structure inspection was also performed by Power Solutions and determined the structure is adequate to support the solar panels that are being mounted on the roof. Solar panels are not required to be screened on the RF zone, but they are being screened nonetheless. All sections of Mesilla Town codes are being met, and my recommendation is for approval. And I stand by for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. I'll call for a motion to approve case 061916.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Gallegos, second by Commissioner Mulvihill. Any questions, Commissioners?
No.
No. Okay, I think we're good. CID, I think you reviewed it with.
Yes,
CID,
correct.
and it was fine with them.
Correct.
All right, then call for the vote.
Commissioner Mulvihill,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes?
Madam Chair Lucero,
Yes.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Yes.
and Commissioner Alba. Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much, Mr. Salazar. Our next case is 061917 at 2341 Calle de Arroyo. Please, Mr. Salazar.
Yes, this is case number 061917. It is 2341 Calle de Arroyo, was submitted by the Taylor Family Trust, Mr. Pat Taylor, requesting approval to enclose front porch with windows and doors. The zone is historical commercial. I did a background check on this property. Existing front porch is in good condition, and there is no need for repairs. The building is listed in our historic registry and considered to be a significant building to Mesilla. The porch attached to the building is not listed under our historic registry. It was added at a later date, so therefore that's why we did not have a workshop, because the proposed work is being proposed to be done on the porch itself and not on the building that is listed in our historical site. Just for the information, that building is number 118 in our registry. The front portion of this property consists of the present Mesilla Book Center, a store specializing in book dealing with the Southwest. It occupies the southern half of the building known as the Reynolds and Griggs store. This commercial building fronts and streets that faces the plaza, as do the adjacent buildings to the north and the south. The parapet is pedimented, and the wood frame windows are also topped by pediments. A saguan leads from the street on the south side of the business into an interior patio where the various rooms of a residence is in the back of the store open into it. This residence belongs to Edgar Grigg, who was a partner in Ray and Reynolds food and dry goods store that was in the front. Probably many of these walls dated from the early 1850s. It's pretty good, very good. That is, I believe, where New Mexico, the museum, one of the stores that they have taken over. I did email Cultural Affairs just to verify, to make sure. I did email Carla McWilliams, is a contact that I have up there, just to make sure that, at first I wasn't sure if the Griggs store, if the store was part of, because they donated obviously to the state for a museum. So at what part, how does that split, right? How do we take? But that is this private property is not part of the state's property, is what I came up about it. I also spoke with Mike Taylor and Pat Taylor, both of them, and they all both also verified that my information was correct. 18.33.080 requires a historical appropriateness permit. Again, that section of the code requires it, but because of this porch was not part of that historic registry, we do not need a appropriateness permit for that. And I stand by for any questions. As you can see, they have been reviewed by the department heads. Mr. Maese was out, but he did answer and he did review these at the very end, at the end. So I stand by.
Okay, I'll accept a motion to approve case 061917.
So moved.
Second by Commissioner Gallegos, second by Commissioner Miller. Any discussion, commissioners? Mr. Taylor. So the property, do you mind coming up? I just have a few questions.
Sure.
So that property, you can, which Taylor?
Don't fight over the.
The more handsome one.
Yours is the house that is, you can see it from the road, right? Calle de, is it Calle de Parian? I just want to make sure I'm on the right property.
You
And
can,
You had come before us before because you wanted to add or fix the road and stuff.
that's correct, yeah.
That was. And you were denied because it was a historical building, at least that's what was stated back then, wasn't that correct?
Well, it was denied, from what I remember, it was denied in part because some of the committee members felt that it was too close to the Mesilla Plaza from the discussion that I had heard. And my response to that was that any of the historic building, because if you look at the plan, the porch is, as Mr. Salazar indicated, is new. And the building just to, the room just to the right is also new. Room being from 2000, that audition was done.
Yeah, 2000, and then the other one was part of the well house.
So the actual work that we hope to be able to do is not going to be impacting the historic value of that building. And you really can't see it from the road. You really can't see it.
Yeah, you could, yeah, I know exactly where it is. Yeah. All right. All right. So what you're wanting to do then is just, let me see.
Just the porch.
You just want to do the porch. You want to do that.
Enclose an
Yeah,
existing
enclose the
porch.
porch.
Close it.
Mhm. Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Mike.
Yes, Mike.
Not that.
All right, commissioners, anything, nothing? Call for the vote. Yes.
Turn this on. Commissioner Mulvihill,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gallegos, and Commissioner Alba.
Yes.
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. And I want to thank again Mr. Taylor for the information, the history on it. It's really important for us to know, and especially. All right, our next case would be 061919, 1996 Calle de, no, I'm sorry, I'm jumping. Case 061918, 2183 Calle de Oeste. Mr. Salazar.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you heard Mr. Williamson here during public comment. He is asking for approval to a property line adjustment. Is really what it's called. There's no increase in properties other than just he's moving his southern property line up north. And he is selling approximately about 1.1 acres to Mr. Brian Reeves, which you also heard him during public comment. And the purpose for that section of the property is farmland, is irrigation. There is a step in that, right at that property line to where the water is not able to. There is a well on the property that Mr. Williamson's going to end up on his side. Mr. Brian Reeves already has it well on his property, so therefore there won't be an issue with any irrigation. Other than that, I believe it's pretty self-explanatory. He's wants to move up the line. Generally, I wasn't sure, but I added on here for just to be sure. But generally, on a property line adjustment, are usually done administratively approved but I wanted to kind of go over to the commission just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And, you know, it took Mr. Wilson a little bit longer for approval, but I believe that it was necessary for the board commission to do this. It won't necessarily have to go to the BOT, again, only because I'm just bringing it up to the commission just for, I want to call it training purposes, but just for discussion purposes, but really it could have been done administratively. But I bring it up to the commission. If you want to change that, if you want to have all of them come, then I'll be more than happy to do that as well. But again, it's just, would like to present, especially we have a lot of new ones on the commission. So I stand by.
I'll accept a motion to approve 061918.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gallegos, second by Commissioner Movihil. I'm opening it up for discussion. Go ahead.
Mr. Salazar, so the property line that I'm seeing, it's designated in red, correct? And so is moving that line, does that not have to go through the county assessor's office?
That is correct. This is correct. Right now, the property or the request is there is an older plat that you see in front of you. The yellow where it's at now is where it's currently, and then what it proposes to move where it's red. Once it is, if it is approved by the commission, it will need to be signed by the chair, and then it's listed here, by the mayor, before it does get taken to the assessor's office for a recording. Once it is recorded there, I'm sorry, it's supposed to be for the Mylars first, and then it gets taken.
Okay. That was my
And
question.
We get a copy of that Mylar for our records as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallegos. Anybody else have a question? Okay, thank you for growing blue corn. I think for the first time, we're gonna hear it's gonna be used for farming, so I appreciate that very much. Let me see, it won't affect, all right, because if I remember correctly, many years ago, that used to be a road that I can see off of Calle del Norte, and it was a road that used to go all the way to the canal, that property. Do you remember that, Mr. Williamson?
It is currently an electric easement.
An electric easement, well,
Whole history before my day.
yes, well, that was my day. Yeah. Okay, so there is,
It is an electric easement. It is just over my property line and actually is going on a property now purchased by Mr. Paz, which used to be an Alvear property.
it used to be an Alvear property, that is correct.
On the side of Mr. Taylor's lot.
Is there
It's the
still-
electric easement. And that might have been the path of an old time roadway.
There was the tractors used to go down there and work the fields and stuff like that, but it is an easement, right? It's still, for electric. Because I remember driving on that road, to be honest with you. Okay, all right, it will not affect that property that you're wanting to subdivide again. Thank you very much. So I just wanted to comment that. All right, call for the vote, Mr. Salazar.
Madam Chair Lucero,
Yes.
Commissioner Movihil,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gallegos.
Yes.
And Commissioner Alba.
Yes.
Madam Chair, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. All right, then you get, I think this one goes to the Board of Trustees for approval? Not at all? No,
It's goes-
okay,
it's
that's
approved
right, you
now.
just said that. On a note, I would like for these cases to come before the board, if that's okay, because I think you all need to know where the property lines are being, doing a summary subdivision, and the maps need to be corrected. That is a problem we have with our current maps now, because they're not updated, and maybe if the commission is aware of what's getting subdivided now, or it would help them.
Speaking of, is the zoning map for the town of the city?
Eventually, yes, I want to make sure it gets to the county, once it gets there, that they update the map, because all of our zoning map is not right.
Every time there's a
Stuff like this, we don't have it corrected.
Okay. And I would just like to say also that I do appreciate that, because it is helping me learn more too. So I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. All right, let's move on then. Our next case then is 061919, and that would be 1996 Calle de Santiago. Mr.
And this
Salazar,
case
please.
was submitted or is submitted by David Ray Rosales. He is requesting approval to upgrade a balcony square tubing fence. Currently is not up to code and rusted and needs painting. Mr. Rosales is looking to restore and upgrade a balcony wrought iron guardrail on his property. It is not up to code and in bad condition. The guardrail will have vertical uprights at 40 centers, and minimum of 42 inches off the balcony floor. New guardrails will be the same material and color, but an additional wrought iron scroll design will be added to it. Guardrail similar design, not part of a historic building, but again, the guardrail is not part of the building, so no permit is required for that. Appropriateness permit is required for that. 90% of the guardrail is inside the property perimeter walls, not visible from the street. I do recommend approval, and as you can see, the application, property plat, proof of ownership, the drawings and the pictures of the guardrails are also in the package. I stand by for any questions.
Appreciate that, Mr. Salazar. I'll call for a motion to approve case 061919.
So move.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Gallego, second by Commissioner Miller. Discussion, commissioners?
None.
Pretty easy dishes in there.
Easy to see. Color is going to remain,
Mhm.
okay. Call for the vote.
Commissioner
Darn.
Gallego,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Alba,
Yes.
Commissioner Lucero,
Yes.
and Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
And 5-0, motion passes.
Awesome. Wow, we really got through this one. Pretty good. Next item is commissioners and staff comments. Anything from the staff?
Yes, I do have a couple comments. The BOT, we'll be having a workshop on the SJR draft, the short-term rental draft, that was approved here on our last meeting. The workshop's gonna be to Wednesday, that following Wednesday, at 4:30. It's gonna be here in the chambers. It will be here in the chambers. There is a trial from the court. It will be at 4 o'clock. It might overlap a little bit, but we don't foresee any issues with that. But if anything, I might run about 5 or 10 minutes late, waiting for the trial to be over. But it is scheduled for 4:30 here tomorrow, in case anybody wants to
Wednesday.
You
Wednesday.
said
come in
Wednesday,
and
yeah.
hear the discussion. We did some interviews today for the position of historic preservation specialist.
Okay.
They were some pretty good candidates. We do have some that were, some applications that we still gotta go through. And, so I'm kind of excited for that, so to move forward. Along with that, we do have a meeting tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's our first meeting with staff and, Sites Southwest is the company that's gonna do our comprehensive plan. So that is the very first meeting that we're gonna have with them, all of the department heads, along with the company, so we can know what part of the comprehensive planning we're gonna be playing part of, and hopefully we can hire, a historic preservation specialist along with that, so that way they can help us assist with the planning and meetings. And it's gonna get crazy, right? But I thank you all and ask for your patience in advance. So that because there is going to be a lot of work that's going to have to be put into that, and I'm excited. I'm excited that it's going to happen. I think it's going to really help us decide in the future, where our direction, where our community wants us to go. So I think it's a very good, and I think it was due, right? That's the last time we did in 2017. So I'm excited to see it.
2017, yeah, exactly. I was part of that one too, so I'm excited. Good.
There's gonna be some filming on November 20th here in Mesilla. There's no expected any road closures or any type of traffic jams or anything like that. It's gonna be between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Who's filming? That's the only, I don't know. So if you wanna be in it, you might wanna walk around in the movie somewhere. But that's all I have.
Thank you. I'm excited. This comprehensive plan is going to be
For the
meetings
planning
with
and
the
zoning.
public and everything. It's going to include everything we've done before.
It is scheduled, hopefully, if everything goes well, it will be finalized in June. You can get sent in for final review by from the state, from the grants and all.
I like that. Very, very good.
Madam
It's about
Chair.
time. Yes.
A question for Mr. Salazar. Do we know an update on, we know that the Highway 20 is still being renovated and we have a new vendor for the construction. My question is, do we know if we have any resolution on the corner of Calle de Parian and Highway 28 on that light where people sit for hours trying to get through?
That I've heard of, Public Works do already 3 phone calls,
Mhm.
and the mayor and the the town clerk also called, maybe different people, but they haven't given us a time frame yet. I go through every morning. And
Okay.
Ugh.
We thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Salazar.
It
Yes,
is a concern.
Yes.
It's burning right now. I'm on track.
yes.
But
Thank
I
you.
would definitely ask again, maybe I need to call.
Are you going?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I have a
I'll
question.
definitely follow up on that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Commissioner Mulvihill?
Yes, Mr. Salazar, on the staff meeting, is that open to the public? The staff meeting, the comprehensive planning, is that open?
No, I believe that's just for staff and.
Okay,
But it'll eventually open up.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, this is just to get us to who's gonna do what, how's it gonna work, but from there on, probably the rest of the meetings.
It's gonna be open to, it has to, the public has to give their input to see how they want their town to go.
okay.
That's what it's about.
That's exactly what it's about. Exactly.
If, all I can, ask and advise is get people to go, right? Get people out there that really, attend these meetings, yeah, because everybody counts, everybody's, that lives in Mesilla, that works in Mesilla. I think we all want to hear everyone so we can make a best judgment on the outcome. And one of the things that I brought up before in the past, I think the last DOT meeting, is that the comprehensive plan is exactly what it is, is what the community wants us to do as elected or appointed officials. But once it's done, one of the things that I've noticed is it doesn't get into the codes, right? A comprehensive plan is great for the information, but us as commissioners and board trustees and governing board, it's our duty to listen to those requirements or comments and get those into these codes so that we can make it code. And because it's difficult to make decisions a lot of times on the comprehensive plan when it's not law, I guess I should just say. And when it goes beyond this, if there is any rebuttal with, a district court or stuff like that, that's where we're in liability because we're not basing our decision off of the law. And so it's going to comprehensive is great, but from there we have to continue to really look at it, have work sessions. What are we going to put into code? What are we going to suggest we move forward on that? And again, it's a lot of work, but I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to bring us together as a community, as Mesilla, as governing board and commission. I think it's really going to tie that. I'm excited.
And the future, and, based on what this comprehensive plan does, it's going to affect the future of Mesilla. It's either we're going to lose it or we're going to continue in a good way,
Yes.
All right. I don't have nothing. All right. With that said, then I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Mulvihill, second by Commissioner Miller. Call for the vote.
Commissioner Mulvihill,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Alba,
Yes.
Commissioner Gallegos,
Yes.
and Madam Chair said.
Yes. Thank you again for the public. Congratulations. Nice to meet you. And congratulations. Any questions, go with Mr. Salazar. Thank you very much. You got him. Oh, wow, man, we got through this.
I don't know about
pretty
you.
good.
That was fast.
Good. If we stick to the topics.
What's going on here?
If we scroll over the place, we go through forever.
No, Jerry voted against me.
I'm fine. Very nice to meet you. I see you out there working.
He's been involved with our
Are you
building
too?
workshops for kids when we make the blocks.
I love that.
Congratulations.
I love
Been
it.
involved with that.
See good
I
things
really
happening.
enjoy that.
Yeah.
I see you out there, but I've never had the pleasure. Well, I probably will. I'd like to see what I see you out there planting and stuff. I don't live far from there. I just live on Calle de Parian, just down the street.
Well, I'm gonna talk to Eddie right now.
Pat told me that road, do you remember, did it go through?
Right straight. Right straight to the straight.
So like
Okay, you know where Cesario, you know the Alia's property between, okay, right, there was a dirt road. It was just a straight road that went to the. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember going through those roads and the tractors, you know, I'm 76 years old. I'm 76 years old, you know, as a girl, and the Alviares were compadres to my family. They were compadres to my family, the Alviares. So I know them. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Very nice to meet you.